Since I've heard such rave reviews, I'm going to try Pepsi Fire. Okay, not really rave reviews. Everyone seems to think it's gross, but no, what the heck? I seem to like weird things anyway. So we're gonna give it a try right now. It doesn't even smell good. Okay, here we go. Okay, as one person put it, they're absolutely accurate. This is absolutely horrible. I don't even know where they get the cinnamon flavor from. Okay, maybe there's a little cinnamon in the aftertaste, but I was really expecting more of like a cola cinnamon candy or something, but I'm trying to figure out what this tastes like. Okay, I think I got it. You buy the really cheap gummy candies from like the dollar store. They come in like blue and red, and they're white on one end and color on the other. That's the only thing I come up with. It's like, tastes like cheap dollar store candy in a liquid, which is pretty disgusting. So I clearly just wasted $1.75. Yeah. Well, there you go. I wouldn't try this one unless you, I mean, maybe you want to try it. I don't know. Good luck. Looks like we're starting to get a little rain with this nice spring weather we've been having. It's been pretty warm, been enjoyable. Not hot yet, which I don't mind hot. I actually like really hot weather, which is kind of strange that I ended up in Michigan, but that's a whole nother story. And looking at the calendar, about when I could start my trip, which I'm not going to get into real deep details until probably after I start posting videos of me on the road. It's kind of up in the air. Might be able to actually start my vacation a little earlier than I thought. Not by a huge margin, but options are there. Which actually kind of dovetails into another subject, and I know the expectations aren't that I'm going to be posting a video every day, or I'm not going to have a real stringent schedule about every other day I'm going to post a video, or no real calendar to it. I am going to try to get at least 2 videos in a week. There might be some times when there's a longer gap. I do have a very full-time regular job that I do, so just want to forewarn you about that. So I want to give you a quick rundown of what devices I have already and where I'm heading as far as technology for this trip. I know I've told you before that I'm basically running all my video and audio through the iPhone 6 currently. Definitely need to expand that and get something outside of my phone to make sure I can, make better quality video and better quality audio. So I'll show you what I have. I mean, you'll have the iPhone, and then I'll show you the other camera I already have, and then kind of some of the accessories I'm thinking about buying. Let me know what you think. So basically what I already have, besides the iPhone, is this Apeman GoPro wannabe camera. Tried it out today and it seemed to be okay. Looks kind of like a GoPro, same exterior, same waterproofing system, or very similar. A lot of the different accessories. And tested out today, it seemed to do the trick. Decent quality, not real great on zoom, but did the trick. And kind of what I'm thinking about purchasing to supplement that is a couple memory cards. So I could swap in and out, when I'm doing my driving. So that way keep that segregated, plus I can swap it out quickly. Then obviously the 5-in-1 accessory starter kit, that will get me the suction cup for the windshield so I can do driving recording, and it also gives me a selfie stick. Not sure when I would use the chest harness, unless I'm going to do mountain biking, I guess, or something. And then the float, so that way when I use the waterproofing, if I drop it, it doesn't fall to the bottom of the lake. And then here's kind of the thing I thought of just in the past couple of days. So I can try to segregate my audio from my video and then splice it back together. Give me a little better quality, I think, if I use the lapel microphone and then a digital voice recorder. Those are two things that I've found with other YouTubers seem to be almost essential. That makes their videos and audio much better quality. So I think I've just figured out what I'm going to use for my driving camera. And I can use it as a solo driving camera. I don't have to use one of the other cameras and swap out memory cards or do a bunch of moving around. The only caveat's going to be that after a while I'll have to move the video recordings or the footage to my laptop. But based on my calculations, I can do 16 hours of driving easy. And this is the device that I'm going to use. Amazingly, it is an HTC Windows phone that is only capable of 3G. I bought it right before my 2015 trip. I got it off of Craigslist for a measly, I don't know, it was like 40 bucks or something. I probably even overpaid at that point, but especially based on today's technology. But I can record in 720p, which is plenty good for recording what's going down the road. And like I said, I can record 16 hours worth of video and still have plenty of space left without worrying about running over. And obviously I'd be getting gas in between that time pretty easy anyway. So when I get to probably, I don't know, 12 hours of video recording, I'll just download it onto my laptop, clear the phone, and continue going. So I just wanted to share my revelation with you. So there, now you'll have a driving camera. Just got to find a mount for it. Actually, as a correction, that camera was from the 2014 trip. Discovered that by going through the pictures in the camera. And since those pictures are readily available, we're going to use that as my next slideshow. So here is a review and walkthrough of most of my 2014 trip pictures via the HTC Windows phone. Enjoy! Welcome to the slideshow for my 2014 road trip. Some of the pictures are a little lackluster, but we're also going backwards in technology a little bit. So I apologize for any pictures that are a little less than stellar. Let's start with the vehicle I traveled in. This is a 2014 red Mazda. I got terrible gas mileage for the size of the car, only got about 28 miles per gallon for the trip. There's a picture of Chicago. Just drove through it, give you a picture of where I was, the route I took. Here's somewhere in either western Iowa or eastern South Dakota, water tower corn. Here's a storm I went through. I think there was some windmills in the background. Nice little sunset we got there. Stopped by Wall Drug on the way through, which you'll see here in a minute. There's some more openness in Iowa. Fantastic pictures of nothingness. That was crossing the Missouri River. There was actually a pretty good lookout spot there. There was some beautiful scenery. There's a little less beautiful scenery, some more openness. A lot of nothing in the middle of the country as you drive through. One of the things that caught my eye was that they had 85 octane gasoline, I assume for farm equipment out there. We don't have those that in Michigan. There's a picture of the Wall Drug area. I think a good picture of the front of the store. This is Mount Moriah, as you can see, where Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane are buried. Pretty historical cemetery. Took a tour there, Jesse and I, who you'll see in a second. There's Jesse and I at Mount Rushmore. He was nice enough to give me a full tour. He is from that area of the country, so it was nice to have someone serve as a tour guide almost. There's Gutzon Borglum, who sculpted Mount Rushmore. Pretty good history lesson, we'll look him up. Just a few pictures as we walk through. There's some overlooks here in a minute. Well, there was a nice little tunnel, part of the roadway out that way. You can see in the background. But here's some lookout in South Dakota near Custer. I love that scenery. It was a pretty good memory being out in that area, just seeing all the hills, the Black Hills as well. This is the Needles Highway. Pretty neat little winding road that goes up the hills through some pretty intense stone structures. This is the Badlands, Badlands National Park. Pretty dramatic scenery and views. Actually, you can't travel down in the Badlands right there. I don't know where you could, but if I remember right, it was pretty much off limits to traffic of any sort. I'll post a link below the video of the national park and some information about this. It was pretty dramatic. I got some really awesome pictures with a little storm front that was going through. But that was definitely a very awe-inspiring afternoon exploring that area. Didn't go south of the Badlands, just stayed north. It was just easy access to some of the best pictures. Maybe someday I can travel more extensively through that area, but that was still fun to see all that. Wanted to get a lot into that trip. And all of this is generally around the Rapid City area, all within a couple hours. That was Badlands. So that was east of where my main center point was. As we head west, oh look, there I am. As we head west, you're going to see Devil's Tower here shortly. It was actually the first national park or national monument, I don't remember which. Yeah, there it is way off in the distance. You don't realize how big it is until you start getting close to it. That was actually several miles away. It goes, I think, almost 900 feet in the air from the base. I don't remember the dimensions of how far around it was, but it was much larger than what I had imagined by seeing pictures, just looking it up on the internet. So that was again one of my most memorable places, just because of how big it was compared to what I had pictured. And there was actually people climbing up the side of Devil's Tower. You can actually see there's an image of just basically how big it was and some of the rocks that fell, but people going up to the top. I think one of these pictures, if you zoom in, you could actually see the people on the side of Devil's Tower to give you a perspective of how big it is, but it is gigantic. Definitely more than what I had imagined. Just kind of sticks up out of the ground out of nowhere. Pretty neat landmark there. This is Wind Cave Tours. I did go through one of the tours. Couldn't get a whole lot of pictures underground with the darkness. I got one there. Pretty lackluster picture there. This is the Founding Fathers. It's actually like a for-profit little business, but they replicated the Second Congressional Congress when the Declaration was signed. I guess now you can also shoot a musket there, which was not available when I was there. So that's something I missed out on. But it was pretty neat. It was only a couple bucks to get in. Pretty cool history lesson there. Obviously, on your way home, you need coffee. So that was just me grabbing some coffee on the way home. If you guys got any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll see if I can answer it. I'll try to also provide some information for you. I hope you enjoyed the 2014 slideshow. Now my goal is to dig out all the 2015 pictures and get that to you in my next video. I could tell you a little story also in the next video about the car I try to get now after that experience with the Mazda, which was not very impressive. So you can look forward to that, and I can try to follow up on some of your questions and hopefully get you some more good content. Hope you all have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. Take care.